Hello, today I want to talk about performance appraisals. Now, this is one of the things that many managers don't like doing. In fact, I would say some of the managers I've worked with absolutely dread doing performance appraisals. And for the people being appraised, it's usually not much fun either. And I think there are a number of reasons for that. I think one reason is that neither party is properly prepared. And I'm not going to cast any blame for that. It's just one of those things that happens. Everybody's busy, you put the date in your diary, you think you'll get round to it, and quite often it's one of those things that goes down the priority list. And so the two parties arrive at the appraisal and they haven't really thought about how they're going to tackle the conversation. But I think there's something deeper than that as well. And I think it's the whole business of somebody kind of passing judgment on somebody else's work. And it's something that most managers struggle with. Now, of course, it is part of what it means to be a manager, that if you're managing people, then you're being paid to have an opinion on how well those people are doing the job and also to help them do the best that they possibly can and contribute the most that they can. But it's something that sits uncomfortably with a lot of people. And I think there are a number of reasons for that. I think possibly it's about not actually understanding how to have that conversation in a way that's not judgmental or confrontational. But I think it's also to do with the way that a lot of organisations think about learning and development. So very often, the purpose of performance appraisals is to provide information to HR, to learning and development about who's doing what, who has a gap in their skills, who's ready for some more development, who's got potential to go further, and so on. But all too often what happens is that we look at a person's job description and their objectives and we focus in on what's not working. We focus in on the stuff that's not so good, where there's some remedial action to be taken. And that can end up with a person feeling a bit demoralised at the end of a performance appraisal because what's happened is that they've gone away with a load of things where there's room for improvement. And I see this a lot. I think it's a legacy from professional qualifications that we think that if a job requires a whole range of skills, then a person needs to be good at all of them. And so we keep looking at the ones where they're a bit below average and where they could do better, and we keep throwing money at training programs to raise that. And I think that in some ways that's kind of counterproductive. Because if you think about it for yourself, what do you most like learning about? Things that you're already quite good at or stuff that you're not very good at? If you're anything like me, then you probably enjoy learning about things that you're already quite good at. So you're adding more knowledge and skill on top of something that you already feel confident with. Something that you're not very good at, then it can be painful, it can be boring, it can be difficult, it can be stressful to try and learn on top of something that's not already terribly good. So think about this. Are you trying to build a whole team of people who are reasonably good at a whole range of skills? Would you rather have a team where you've got people who are excellent at different bits and different aspects of a job? Because I think that if we put our training budget and our energy and all our development resources into helping people get even better at the stuff they're good at, instead of trying to kind of bring them up to a minimum standard in the things they're not terribly good at, I think if we were to focus on the things people are already good at, I think we'd end up with a better return on the investment and also people who are a lot more motivated. So when it comes to performance appraisals, I'd recommend that what we focus on is the things that somebody's doing really well and the opportunities for them to do even better at it. Now, that's probably a conversation that both people would enjoy having.